Some huge new reports are starting to go around regarding the Hurt Business 2.0, so we'll see what's going on there. We'll also check out what questions Bray Wyatt had about Roman Reigns' title reign and more. Let's start things off with these new reports regarding the Hurt Business. So the Hurt Business reunion has been something WWE has been teasing and hinting to ever since the end of December. Last time we went over the latest teasers with the Hurt Business, we discussed how Bobby Lashley was starting to act more and more like a heel, and how that could mean he could be getting close to letting MVP know that he wants back into the Hurt Business. So basically the whole group is waiting on Bobby Lashley. The second he decides to rejoin them, that's probably when the 2.0 version of the Hurt Business will really take off. Well, now there's even rumors and reports of new members being discussed for the Hurt Business 2.0. Wrestling Observer Radio reports that there was reportedly discussions about calling NXT's Carmello Hayes up to the main roster and having him join the new Hurt Business. Carmello Hayes has had a lot of recent success in NXT, and his popularity is growing at a rapid pace as well, so he would be an interesting call-up and addition to the group. Last time WWE called up an NXT superstar to join a faction, it was extremely successful. We're of course talking about Solo Sikoa. Solo was on his way up in NXT, but they called him up to the main roster to join the Bloodline, and it has been nothing but a major success so far, and has really elevated Solo Sikoa to new levels that he previously wasn't at during his time in NXT. So that very well could be the same case for Carmello Hayes. Pair him up with a former champion like Bobby Lashley, great mentor like MVP, veterans like Shelton Benjamin, and it would be really interesting to see him be the new breakout star for this new version of the Hurt Business. Only issue with the rumor is that Carmello Hayes is still expected to challenge Braun Breaker for the NXT World title in the coming months. So maybe the outcome of that match will also hint at what they decide to do with Carmello Hayes. If he defeats Braun Breaker for the title, then obviously he's not leaving NXT because he'll be the world champion for the brand. But if he's unsuccessful in dethroning Braun Breaker, maybe we do have a strong chance of seeing Hayes come over to the Hurt Business. Carmello Hayes did respond directly to the report on Twitter and gave it a 1-star rating and implied that it was very false. But the Hurt Business isn't even fully back together quite yet. But with the teasers that have already been planted, there's a lot of buzz around the group getting back together. So hopefully sometime in the near future we do see the final product of what the Hurt Business 2.0 will look like. Will Bobby Lashley come back to the group? And will we see new members such as Carmello Hayes? It'll be great to see how that all turns out. Roman Reigns just surpassed 900 days as Universal Champion. It's the longest reign WWE has seen in decades, and is easily the most historic reign in all of recent WWE history. And another insane stat about all this, Roman Reigns has just surpassed John Cena for total combined days as WWE Champion. John Cena had 16 world titles, but even those 16 title reigns combined together still don't add up to Roman's total days as champion. So that really does put it into better perspective. WrestleMania 39 may or may not be the end of Roman's title reign, but either way, it's been a historic run. The BT Sport account recently put up a graphic with all of Roman's title defenses from throughout this title reign. Roman defended the title over 27 times across the last few years. But what surprised fans was some other superstars being in the comment section of that graphic of Roman Reigns. The superstars who left a comment on that post included Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman. Bray Wyatt responded to the post of Roman's 27 title defenses by saying, quote, "Yeah, but how did he win it?" End quote. Braun Strowman also backed up what Bray Wyatt was saying. So to answer Bray Wyatt's question and dive deeper to this point, Roman's title reign started back at Payback 2020. Now, the SmackDown before Payback was focused on Roman, Wyatt, and Strowman, all signing the contract for their triple threat match for the Universal title. Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman had no issues signing the contract on that edition of SmackDown, but it was Roman Reigns who had an issue with it and didn't sign the contract on SmackDown. So the Payback event came around, and it was just Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman one-on-one, since Roman refused to sign the contract. But several minutes into the match, Roman and Heyman come out on the ramp, and Roman signs the contract right there on the stage and runs down to the ring where Strowman and Wyatt had already beaten each other down. Roman picks up the scraps, puts on the finishing touches, and pinned Braun Strowman to win the Universal title. So it looks like what Bray Wyatt could be implying is that even from day one of Roman first winning the title, things were already fraudulent for the new title reign. Not only did he pin Strowman for the title and not Bray Wyatt, but Roman signed the contract while the match was already well underway. So it looks like that's Bray's main point here, that Roman didn't even win the title in an honorable way. Plus, Bray Wyatt never got his rematch clause for the title. Roman Reigns has defended his title against certain challengers multiple times throughout the years, but never defended the title even once against Bray Wyatt. And like everyone knows, of course Bray Wyatt doesn't need any world title at all to be relevant, but the story and narrative here is just so strong that it's pretty insane to think that we never got that story even once. Bray Wyatt was the most recent Universal Champion before Roman's historic title reign. So it's just hard to believe that they never went back to that. And like we talked about many times, Bray Wyatt was going to be Roman's first feud during this Universal title reign. Bray introduced the Paul Heyman puppet to the Funhouse, and Alexa Bliss was staring down Roman Reigns. So WWE was gearing up for it, and then it was just scrapped. No one knows why it was scrapped, but common sense tells us that maybe WWE figured it wasn't a good idea to make that match happen because Bray Wyatt was going to take another big loss. So they decided to keep him away. If Roman Reigns is able to survive Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania, Bray Wyatt's name may start to come into the fold of possible new challengers. Of course, the majority of fans believe it's a no-brainer that Roman Reigns is losing the world titles to Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. But a reoccurring theme in the Triple H regime so far is that if something seems painfully obvious and expected, he'll throw in a twist. He did it with the women's tag team title tournament. Before the tournament even started, everyone said that Damage Control was obviously winning, and no one else stood a chance. And in the finals of that tournament, Damage Control got beat by Aaliyah and Raquel. So, is that the same idea here? Is Cody winning at WrestleMania so painfully obvious that they'll go in another direction and Roman will actually retain? But it's just something to keep an eye on. It looks like Bray Wyatt hasn't forgotten about Roman's historic title reign that all started by Roman stealing the title away from Bray Wyatt. So it'll be great to see Bray Wyatt eventually confront Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, or whoever the new champion may be down the line as Bray climbs back into the world title contention. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.